afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda, and this is Jar of Marbles.
And I am Bob. I'm Bob. I'm Bobsy Bob with bosom.
Are you saying bosoms?
No, Bobisms.
Very good to see you, Bob.
Good to see you too, Linda.
Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about change is a process. Change is inherently a process because it involves a series of steps, adjustments and adaptions that require time and effort to take effect. It's not something that happens instantaneously or without challenges, whether in personal growth, societal shifts or organisational transformations. Change requires both planning and a willingness to evolve.
You know, I believe in annoyed at first sight.
Do you, Bob?
Yeah, I do.
When we view change as a process, we understand that it's not just about an immediate switch, but rather a progression that requires patience, learning, and often trial and error. People, for example, go through phases where changing habits, behaviours, or mindsets.
I think it's wise to remember that some people cannot support you publicly because of how they talk about you in private.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it is. Good on you. There's a Bob fact, not a Bobism, a Bob fact.
Good on you, Bob. These stages, such as preparation, action, and maintenance, can often be messy and non-linear, but they are essential in ensuring that change sticks and becomes sustainable in the long term.
Gee, so true.
Yeah, it's a messy business, but so worth it. Normalising change is important because in many contexts, it can carry negative connotations or provoke resistance.
Resist.
Society often values stability and consistency, and while those qualities can be beneficial, they can also make change seem uncomfortable or unnatural or even threatening.
And it doesn't have to be?
Absolutely not. Much can happen that brings change, and many times change comes as an unwanted visitor, perhaps change that we'd never believe would ever happen, and then it does.
Yes.
Maybe you've found yourself in a breakdown of a relationship, be it with your adult child, sibling, a friend you always thought you'd have, and it happens, and over time it's like, hell, hold on, is this really happening?
This is the change. It's a process part, isn't it?
Yep, Bob, and so much more. Process is not a one thing and done in an afternoon scenario.
Bloody damn it all, I say.
Mostly, we don't want change, especially if we're feeling happy, settled and peaceful about our lives. Change can visit us as grief. Grief is often seen as the pain of losing someone we love. But if you have ever lost someone, you know it's more than that.
Yeah, very true, yeah.
It is incredibly personal. We all process loss in different ways, and there's different kinds of loss. It's not just about missing them. It can be about missing who you were around them.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Particular people bring out a version of us that no one else can. They see things in us. They believe in us like no one else can. They can see things in us that others overlook. They may make us laugh like no other, or they may see talent in you that you might fail to own. They could love you and believe in you in a way that no one else has or could. They bring out the best in us, and often they don't realise it. So when they've gone, we don't just grieve them, we perhaps grieve the version of ourselves that only existed because of them.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
It's very sad, though.
Yeah, it is. But it's also lovely. We never know when life will bring change, and as we know, depending on circumstances, we can resist. We humans are straight-A students at resisting change.
And the process.
Exactly, Bob. Our mind can become like Grand Central Station, and just like every train that arrives, they don't require your attention except the train you plan on boarding.
Oh, yeah.
It is so natural to resist. It's a shock. And it can mean such a massive brakes on to what was the way your life was going. Too often we grab onto thoughts and fears that aren't ours to carry. We are perhaps not realising that we are at the beginning of change. And the
process.
That's right.
All the processes.
Yes, true. The many processes that change brings. I think for many of us, I know myself, a number of times I've been aware that I'm smack at the beginning or somewhere along the line of change, coming to grips that things can never be the same again.
But why?
Well, it depends on a lot of things, Bob. We can misread, misinterpret, we can trust, we can simply believe that things will work out. We hold on to those thoughts for survival as the pain or the threat of it, never returning can oftentimes be too hard to bear.
Bummer.
It can become about the blame game, and even then, okay, so someone is blamed. What next? Look at the source.
Tomato sauce, that's my main squeeze. Yes, sirree.
Sometimes the person that's swinging around the accusations is the perpetrator, is the problem, and people, even though they know the person has a reputation for having an interesting relationship with the truth, suddenly their word is gold.
Oh, okay. Oh, I feel like a nap.
Yeah, it's not cool, that's for sure.
Not at all. No, it's low.
Hashtag change is a process. I was watching a doco and it included a woman who deeply missed her mother. She had passed years ago and thought that she would never hear her voice again. They were just like fading memories. Then one day she found an old video and on it was her mother and her talking and laughing. Then something incredible happened. It wasn't just nostalgia. It was as if a part of her had returned to her. Her mother's voice had awakened the emotions, the warmth, the security that she'd felt when she was alive, when in her presence. We often assume we'll always remember the sound of someone's laugh, the way they said our names, the funny stories, the knowledge. But over time, memories fade. I've been recording my family at various stages of their lives for years, particularly, when my kids were little, but we have the luxury of having phones where we can capture everyday moments, which I adore, and it's just amazing to have these treasures. Have you ever heard a voice from the past that just brought back so many memories? By normalising change, we can shift this mindset, helping ourselves, our partners, kids, individuals and communities to embrace the unknown with a sense of optimism rather than fear.
Hey, someone stole my mood ring. I don't know how I feel about that. That's a free Bobism. You're welcome, dwellers.
The more we normalise change, the more we create environments where innovation, growth and adaptation are valued. Change isn't easy.
See, that's the bit.
Bob, it is so worth it. The idea of self-respect, self-worth leading to self-value is the goal, is the everyday thread, thread into your life. Doesn't matter whether anyone else gets it. It's your life and yours to live.
Even the ones that lie about others?
Definitely. And remember, it's choice.
They actually chose to be lying losers?
Oh, well, yes. And we choose to not live our lives how we want to, which includes learning and taking full responsibility for ourselves.
Oh, yeah, okay then.
But the stages of change model can help you understand the process and maybe make this process work a little bit easier. When changing a behaviour, people typically go through the following stages.
Hey, I married Miss Right. I just didn't know her first name was Always.
Pre-contemplation, where they are often ignoring or denying the problem. The earliest stage of change is pre-contemplation.
That's me, the pre-contemplation guy.
During the pre-contemplation stage, people are not considering a change. People in this stage are often described as in denial because they claim that their behaviour is not a problem.
Not even consider that their behaviour is problematic? Oh, God, fathers, it's definitely a nose thing.
A nose thing, Bob?
Yeah, like it's obvious as the nose on their faces. Wake up, big nose!
Okay.
Yeah.
In some cases, people in this stage do not understand that their behaviour is damaging. Or maybe they do understand, but they don't know what to do about it. Or they are under-informed about the consequences of their actions.
Oh, big nose, wake up!
Contemplation is where they weigh the pros and cons of making a change.
Here we go.
Characteristics of contemplation are ambivalence and conflicted emotions.
True.
Weighing the pros and cons of behaviour change, having the approaching readiness to recognise that you do have the ability to change.
You sure do, big nose.
A strategy may also be there are many barriers to this change? Are there any barriers to this change?
How so?
Well, we can dismiss what we see and sense and idealise a person, ignoring the red flags.
Oh, God, fathers.
There's a lot in that statement, dismissing what we see. We do not want to believe it. We may deny our intuition, which will never lead you astray. Idealising a person.
Like who?
Well, a wayward parent, believing them to be such a hero, then later realising that they were anything but, making excuses for repeatedly poor behaviour.
And hoping they'll change and realise how mean they've been and start hoping that they'll be kind and love you lots.
Well, yeah, there's bags full of hope there, Bob.
Yeah, no, well, one thing nobody ever talks about being an adult is how much time you debate yourself on keeping a cardboard box because it's a really good box.
Oh, yes, Bob. That can happen.
Yeah.
So with preparation, when you decide what you'll do or perhaps accept regarding making changes, maybe you might trialling some small changes. That is something to look forward to and ensure that you keep moving. This is where baby steps make so much sense to keep pushing through.
You know, an adulting fail has turned on the wrong burner and have been cooking nothing for 25 minutes.
Yes, I've done that, Bob. In fact, the other day. Now, your strategy is heading towards change. Write down your goals. It's really helpful. Cannot stress how much it is. If you're serious, then you will. There's a lot of power in actually writing them down, having them before you. It's a primitive capability. Prepare a plan of action. Massive point at this stage of the equation. Be free to write down any kind of action, or at the least what you'd really like to do. Even though you know you'll probably not, give it a go. You'll be surprised at the surge of power from that alone. Obviously, do it more than once, dwellers. Make a list of motivating statements.
Oh, yeah, I do like motivating statements. I'm going to say skydiving is probably off the list for me since I just screamed when the toilet seat shifted. Yeah, scary stuff that is. Oh, jeez.
Motivational statements like, I'm in the process of making positive changes in every area of my life. Change is a process, not an event.
There we go. Bit of a hesitation there.
Change outside of me is an opportunity for change within.
Oh, yeah, love it. I like that.
Me too, Bob. So next it is action time. We're taking steps towards the goal.
The day comes, da-da-dee-do-da-dee-da-dee-da-da. If someone tells me to take it down a notch, that guarantees a 5-notch increase. Yeah, so don't try to denotch me. Denotch me. Yeah. Righto, Bob. Righto, Bob.
So now you're taking direct action toward a goal, and you will have heard of the notion of rewarding yourself with successes.
But why?
Well, it's you acknowledging your work, your intent, your sense of getting somewhere. I mean, you're actually doing it. You're not listening to the podcast and go, yeah, and just carrying on doing whatever. You're actually getting somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Seek out social support. Join a group. There are so many to get involved with.
Now, call me boring, but I want a simple wedding.
You do?
Yeah, no fancy hall, no expensive dress, no food, no wife. Keep it simple, I say.
Bob. So with your changes, you're in the process of implementing the maintenance.
Ah, yes, the maintenance.
So we're sticking with it for the long term. Maintenance of the new behaviour, avoiding temptation, going back to old thinking that always leads to pain and confusion.
Yeah, shitful feelings that don't add to the happiness of what life can be.
Yeah, tell us, Bob. Tell us what you really think.
Yeah, you think? You know what stress is? When I grew up, if you missed a TV show, you missed it forever.
That's true. Change is the road that can lead to progress, open new opportunities and push boundaries. We all know when we have to instigate change when the time comes.
Or change comes and you have to get going. Hey, do you ever wake and have a look in the mirror and think, nah, that cannot be correct?
Yeah, sometimes, yes. So yes, we get to decide how we're going to navigate change. Some people make it look easy, don't they? I'd be rich for every time I've decided I'm making a change and I get told, oh, it's easy for you. Oh, is it? If change was easy, lemon squeezy, everybody would be doing it. Know when to walk away. It's difficult, yes, and it hurts, yes, and often for a long time. Staying, though, hurts too, and it steals your soul, wastes your time, and teaches you to accept less than you can do on your own. Happiness is a choice, not a reward.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
If you don't choose happiness, it will rarely happen. Boom! Always keep your sense of humour.
Keep smiling, dwellers.
Life happens. Sometimes like a roller coaster, doesn't it? It's up and down, so hold on tight, scream if you want. Even the roller coaster has to stop at some point. Just don't let go. Don't give up. Change when it comes smashing through the walls, as it can feel like. I know I have to go into get very focused on surviving, and more than that, find joy in life. Anyways, there will be tears and frustrations and sadness. But in between the waves of that, there are real moments of realising that you're heading in a brand new direction.
Oh, and we love that.
Albeit we don't know where, but something is happening. It's on you and it's up to you. And there are moments of joy and gratitude in even the saddest of times, and they are to be treasured. Normalising it in our everyday conversations in the workplace and within educational systems allows people to embrace it as a necessary part of life rather than something to be avoided. #change is a process. Whatever you do, don't die before you're dead.
Oh, hell's bells, what?
Don't lose yourself.
Oh, okay.
Don't lose hope and don't lose direction. Whether you want to follow up on a dream, see family members that you haven't seen in years, change your career path, learn a language, stop smoking, or accomplish another goal, no single solution works for everyone.
Yeah, right, that's right.
You may have to go through a process of trial and error to achieve the things you want.
Well, that's the process.
That's right. And many people become discouraged during this period.
So when they usually give up?
Well, yeah, and they give up on their behaviour change goals.
No one tells you this, but the older you get, the more you look out of your house windows.
I know you're actually onto something there, Bob. I like to call it neighbourhood watch.
Neighbourhood watch? Neighbourhood bloody snoop, you mean?
Call it what you will, young man. So the keys to achieving and maintaining your goals are to try new techniques and find ways to stay motivated. Change might not come easily, but psychologists have developed effective ways to help people change their behaviour. Therapists, physicians and teachers use varying techniques. Researchers have also proposed theories to explain how change occurs. Understanding the elements of change, the stages of change, and ways to work through each stage can help you achieve your goals.
I was at a bar last night and a woman got a nipple pierced right in front of me. On a related note, I suck at darts.
Oh, Bob.
Yeah, no.
Moreover, when we normalise the process of change, we make it easier to understand that setbacks are part of the journey.
Setbacks, hear that? They're all a part of the process of change.
People won't feel isolated or defeated when they face obstacles. Instead, they'll see it as an opportunity to learn. This mindset encourages experimentation and innovation, leading to a more creative solution and new approaches to solving challenges. And that is a very satisfying experience. Changes your life moving forward in a really meaningful way.
Because the nose knows.
Yeah, once you know you can and will find creative solutions, you actually look forward to it.
That old self-belief, hey?
Yes. And ultimately, change is inevitable. And by framing it as a process that's worth normalising, we prepare ourselves, our communities and organisations to thrive rather than to simply survive.
Yeah, use your smarticle particles, I say.
You know, I remember being told many years ago that even if you do nothing, everything around you will change. Yeah, it might take years, but change is going to happen anyway, so why not Why don't you be ahead of it? Why don't you decide where you want to make changes? And yes, change can feel rather sudden and jarring, leading us to believe it happens all at once, when in reality, it's actually a gradual process. There are several reasons why we might not recognise change as a process. And number one is the expectation of instant results. I think that this is the main error or expectation. We expect change immediately, forgetting it is a process. It is not an overnight event. We live in a world where quick fixes and instant gratification are the norms. And even though we know that, we can still easily fall prey to it. But thanks to technology and the fast-paced nature of modern life, we can get caught up in it. And this can make us expect change to happen suddenly or in a clear, visible way rather than over time.
Yes, I can see that now. You explained that well.
Thanks, Bob.
That's all right.
Hashtag change is a process. We might feel frustrated when the transformation we seek doesn't happen overnight, not realising that change often builds incrementally.
Yeah, the old incremental, yeah. Hate it when I finally get to open the tin of biscuits and it's a sewing kit. The horror! Jeez, happened at my nan's once.
Did it?
Yes.
Number two, lack of awareness. Change is often so subtle that we don't notice it in the moment when we're too close to the situation or immersed in our own daily routines. It can be hard to step back and see the slow, steady shifts happening around us.
Oh, yeah.
This is especially true for internal change like personal growth or shifts in mindset, which are often undetectable on a day-to-day basis. Number three, the comfort of familiarity.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Sometimes the process of change feels invisible because we're stuck in old patterns and
Old ways of thinking.
yeah. As humans, we tend to resist change because